Management of files and folders. Can you identify the thing? What can we understand in managing files and folders? So, children, let's we start about managing of files and folders. Is it a easy task? Yes, why not? When you are looking about files and folders, so we have to understand also what about the files and what about the folders. If the number of files can we keep in the recycle bin, can we keep in the bin the files which are not working or the files which are not useful, can we keep in this way? Are you doing this thing in your home? Children, will you reply? Okay, so let's discuss what is a file. A file is a collection of data that is stored together. File can be stored on hard drive, a floppy disk or CD, that is secondary storage. Everything that a computer does is based on data stored in files. You can do lots of things with files like create them, name them, rename them, save them or delete them. Certain files can be changed also. So in the same way we can categorize as computer files. In some ways, files are like television shows. Like all TV shows have three things, just like computer files: name, location of a file, and length of a file. And common file extensions denoted like when we are saving our files. Now, the file name, how can we write? File name often consists of two parts. First one is a name of a file, second one is a type. And computer files comes in different types like text files, graphics files, program files, email files. In many computer systems, files are named so that you can know what type of file it is. In the same way, folders, many times the computer will automatically store files in certain folders in order to keep itself organized. However, when you create a new file, you must decide which folder to put them. You can even create a new folders to store your files also. So, in this way, folder is helpful for creating or keeping your files. Now, what is the use of file management system? The process of organizing and managing your files. The files that contains the documents program, images or file types, folders, a container used to organize the stored files. The same with disk, media containing files and folder, that is called disk or disk drive. Now, when you are a computer user, you should follow the different things. The never delete, move, or rename a file unless you are absolutely sure what you are doing. So, in this way, the file concept is defined as a file is a name collection of related information that is recorded on secondary storage. Data cannot be written to secondary storage unless they are within a file. That means if your data is not stored, you cannot modify your data. So first you have to store in your devices. So if you want to manage the file, some tips are required. Use descriptive name. Descriptive means you have to write down the unique name for each file. Maintain the file extension that will tell which type of file. Similar files you can keep in a together. Organize your folders from top to down, that means ascending order. Consider using the my document default directory. Documents you can keep in the document directory. Now files and folders. Folders store files, that means folder keeps the number of files. File name can have to up to 250 characters. If you are writing a file name, so main characters you can write till 255 characters. Now come to user interface. User interface means we are user when we are working on computer. How can we interlink to the computer with the help of different window? There are two types of interface: command line user interface, graphic user interface. Command line interface means when you are interfacing through the command with your computer, and graphical means in the form of pictorial. Now, the file manager or file management system is the manager in the operating system that creates the illusion that there are files and folders being stored in a computer memory. As you can say, hardware is related to operating system, and operating system manages the files and folders, and hardware comes in the memory locations. That means memory is stored in the as a hardware device. Now I'm asking a question, children. Before donating your computer to a charitable organization, you can make sure your personal data cannot be accessed from the hard disk by deleting any files and contain the personal folder, deleting files containing the personal data, and then empty the recycle bin. Delete all the files and folders on your computer's hard disk. So these were the steps. Now what are the learning outcome when you are learning this chapter? Develop file management strategies, explore file and folders, know about files and folder, create, name, copy, move and delete your files and folders. Name, copy, move and delete file, and work with a compressed file. Compressed file means if you want to remove the reduce the size of your file. Next one is a creating a folder. When you want to create a new folder, first you have to select a location where you want to create a folder. After that, click on new file icon, explorer. After that, you will get a new folder. Then you have to rename a folder. Now how will you rename means like if you are making your own folder, then you have to write your own name. So you have to right click on folder. There will be a properties window will open. In that window there will be rename option. In the rename option you have to go to, and you can rename your file. You can delete the previous name. Like by default it will come folder 1, so you have to write your name. Next one is a copying a file. For copying a file, you have to choose the file, then right click on the file, choose copy, open the folder or device where you want to paste your file. For copying and paste, CTRL plus C, that means Control plus C is for copying, Control plus V for pasting. In the same way, if you want to delete a file, for that also select the file. After that, right click from your mouse button, then delete properties window will open. Then you have to click on delete option. In this way you will able to delete your file. Now here is some shortcut keys for new file. CTRL plus N, that means Control plus N. Open a file, save a file, move between open workbook, close a file, save as, display the print menu. So these are the shortcut key which are useful when you are managing your files and folders and performing the operations on file. In the same way, let's see what is the difference between folders and file. Folder, basically file comes in the folder, so used for organizing data on your hard drive, that is folder. It contains the files and folder which called subfolders. Files contains the data that we can store in the form of picture, image and video. Thank you class.